Hey everybody, how's it going? It is 1:42 a.m. where I'm at. I was just on JMO's live stream, and I don't know, I guess still feeling talkative. I didn't wake up until I got his notification. About, I guess it was like 11 o'clock. I got a few hours of sleep, and I am awake. Not woke fully, but I'm awake. And I was wondering if anybody wanted to chat about this or that. Probably specifically Mandela effects, if you have seen them, see them, or don't. Should that be just as interesting? I'd love to debate it with somebody. Tell me it's not real. But I mean, maybe it's not real for some people. But I am trying to remember actually how to use StreamYard, because it's been a while. Oh, there we go. I don't really. It's probably a bad time to go live when I don't have anything to actually talk about. I should probably be using this energy to make some music. I've been trying my hardest to mod a PS Vita. I like games. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, they are a waste of time, but it's a fun waste of time. I mean, it's not really creative. I really do hate the like when you actually beat a game and then it's like, well, I beat the game. Like, I don't know. Didn't really, you don't win anything, you know? It'd be nice if, like, I don't know. There was this app that I had that, like, I'd play this, spin a wheel and, like, you would win pennies. And I'd spend all day, like, pressing this button. I spent so much time. And then, like, by the end of the day, I might have, like, $1. And I was like, hi, Ellie. Thanks. And show me Sasquatch. What's up? Um, so yeah, I don't know. Video games. I put a lot of time in it, and I'm like, I don't even know why most of the time. After I don't know. At least I feel like when I watch a movie, I take something out of it. Most if it's a good movie. So many crappy movies. There's like movies that like have hidden messages. That's what I get out of it. I love looking for like the Easter eggs in movies or games or like something that you're not supposed to notice, and like most people wouldn't. like like I was telling JMO, this license plate in a movie that some people call a Mandela effect said Mr. Wolf in the movie Pulp Fiction. uh People remember Mr. Wolf's license plate saying Mr. Wolf, and now it says what looks like random numbers and letters. But I decided to add up the letters and numbers using the letters as like A was 1, it was ABM. A was 1, B was 2, M was 13. That equaled 16. And the other ones was like 5, 8, 1, and 3. So, anyways, it all equaled up to 33. I had to do it. I don't know. I saw it. I was like, there's got to be something in that. It changed. There's got to be something significant in that. And because it was also in an episode of X Files, the same exact license plate on a different car. And it's like you really think like those producers, those directors like got together and was like, oh, here, you can use this license plate. Like, it's just some random. No, there's a reason behind it. And that's the thing about the Mandela effect. There's all these little messages, right? Like, you can take from all, like, the first thing I heard was Berenstain Bears. I was like, no way. I was like, that means like there's a stain on the universe, like a stain on this now. Like, there's a stain on the name. And I always thought like that book was all about morals and stuff. But as I grew up and like I started to see, it was actually kind of teaching kids what, I mean, it was supposed to teach them what not to do, but literally you tell a kid, do not do this, that's going to put it in their head that they can do it. You know, they may not be supposed to, but they can if they want to. And then that piques their curiosity. And then they're like, well, I'm just gonna do it and try it. If there's something I'm not supposed to do, I must be missing out. I must be missing something. And that was the thing about when I was a teenager. Drugs, you know, don't do drugs, but it's like, well, there's something, especially psychedelics. When I started doing my research, I was like, okay, well, these things aren't physically harmful, and maybe there's something. Well, the Indians took this. Indians, spiritual things. Maybe I'm a god. I could get close to I don't know, some spiritual thing about this. So that really piqued my interest. Yeah, the forbidden fruit, exactly, Allie. And I think that's what DMT is. I think it's like, oh, Mortal Kombat 11, dude, we could totally play some. All I have is PS3 though. I actually just sold my PS4. But Fruit of the Loom corn, drugs block their subliminal. I don't know. All I know is I didn't get much from it. I mean, there's definitely a very spiritual aspect to psychedelics. It opened up, I don't know if you want to say my third eye or whatever, but my telepathy, and it freaked me out, man. Like, people would say things that I was thinking. So I'm like, okay, everybody's reading my mind, or or am I thinking it because they're thinking it and then they're saying it? And that it freaks me out. I mean, there's a it was almost like being naked. It's like there's a kind of a cool thing when you think your thoughts are private, but when you know your thoughts aren't private and actually have significance and actually affect your reality, then it's overwhelming and a little bit scary. But then it's like, I don't know, I've seen so many how is your console compatible with anything? What do you got it modded? How is that? I modded a Nintendo 3DS recently. I modded my original Xbox. I've modded my PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2. The only thing that I haven't, because you can do all of that soft mods. I didn't have to open them up or anything. Only thing that I haven't done is my Xbox 360, which I don't know. I'm afraid to open up, and I don't know. I don't want to buy a chip for and all that. So, plus my PS3 is pretty sweet. I don't know why I did not like PS4. I mean, the graphics were definitely awesome, but seemed like I had to update every freaking time I got on the thing. And I'm living out here where I don't have internet anyways. I have to use my hotspot. So if I'm like trying to play, I only got it to play with other people online. And I don't know, fell off it real fast. But now I got the PS5, and sure we'll be able to mod that thing. So time flies. Like literally, I didn't. I think it was like 2006 the PlayStation 3 came out, and like it doesn't seem like that long ago. It really doesn't. Hence, this is my jam. Yeah. I've got a Fire TV. It doesn't play in 64 great, but it does emulates it. I've got like 8 emulators on my Fire TV. I got Super Nintendo, Sega, uh, Nintendo, PSP, which is pretty awesome. I really like the PSP emulation. Um, uh, Dreamcast, Nintendo DS. Uh, what else? I don't know. I guess so many. There's no way I can even like play all of those. I just like. I mean, I could probably play all of them, but I don't. I'll never actually beat all the games that I have for them. They call it cheating. Oh, are you actually modding the games? That is kind of. I mean, uh, yeah, that is kind of cheating, dude. I don't do that. Plus, it messes. I don't know. Doesn't that mess with the Donkey Kong? Hey, have you played the Donkey Kong Country for Wii or the Nintendo 3DS? It's pretty awesome. It's a lot like the original Donkey Kong Country, but I never got really into Zelda except, well, the Ocarina of Time was the best. I never did play Majora's Mask, but the Ocarina of Time, and they have a remastered Ocarina of Time for Nintendo 3DS. That is awesome. So yeah, like the frog said, sitting next to the pond, time's fun when you're having flies. Yeah, definitely. That's why eating is the I'm a nervous eater. I'm a bored eater mainly. I hate that. I really do like especially watching TV. I have a eating, I guess, is better than biting my nails, but when I watch like a movie or something, I don't know why I bite my nails. And if I got something like chips to munch on, then that stops it. But then I get fat. So Skyrim, I have not played a whole lot of that either. Um, what was I thinking about? Um, eating. I went 5 days without food recently. Well, I guess it was a couple months ago. And I was very, very surprised at how not hungry I was. I didn't, I really didn't think I could go that long. But then once you go a few days, it's like, I do have Skyrim for, like I said, I don't have internet. But anyways, I, when I went 5 days, I think I'm gonna go longer. It's been a couple of months since I did it, but I really feel like I want to like push myself to the brink. I don't know. I mean, as long as I've got water, and it's a real mental exercise more than it is physical because you like have to fight your urge, especially when you've got a bunch of food, like, in your closet. It's like, I don't know. something about it. I never thought I'd do that, and I want to go longer because I feel like I gave in. I feel like I really did. I feel like I could have went so much longer without eating. Hey, where did you come across that line of thought about fasting in paradise? Paradise? I don't know about paradise. I don't know. I guess it was just the Bible. And didn't was it didn't Jesus go like 40 days and 40 nights? I actually read when I before I did it, I did a little research and I read, I can't say if it's true, but this guy went like 200 something days, which should be impossible. But he was also like 500 pounds. So he was living off of his fat. But I don't know. I don't know what I got from it besides knowing that I could. Um, I didn't feel drained. My energy didn't feel drained. I didn't feel hungry. I was kind of, I don't know what I even did. Just drank a bunch of water. And it was tap water, which friggin' sucked. All right, next time I'm going to do it, I'm definitely going to drink like bottled water. At least. I want to get a filter. Because even the freaking bottled water, if these things sit in the sun, they'll get like, how is it, BPA or whatever, like the plastic will like leach into the water. So I don't know. I feel like, well, okay, this is why I did it. I was having some abdominal pain and stuff, and I just felt like, well, eating's not friggin' helping anything, so I'll try to not eat and see if it goes away. And it really, I think it helped. Really did. I don't think it went away because I still do. Like when I eat, sometimes I still get. I guess I have IBS or some crap, but that's probably too much information. I'm not gonna go into that. But something about vegetables. I can't digest vegetables anymore. I don't know. I love carrots and I love corn and um, but it's like seems like processed food just like sits better. But I know it sucks. I don't know, just meat, bread and meat. I don't know potatoes though. I think potatoes are awesome. I love potatoes. They're so cheap, so filling, and they're so easy to grow. I think I'm gonna do that this year. I'm gonna get a greenhouse and grow all kinds of shit. Hopefully, I get another check because I am broke and I want to go up and see JMO. I need gas money and I want to buy a greenhouse. Plus, then everybody overhead can't see what I'm growing. And I can keep the critters down below from eating my carrots and potatoes. Have I ever done a gallbladder kidney cleanse? I don't know. I probably should. I don't know, how do you do it? Is there like a I did start mixing baking soda in my water for a little while. Um to make it like alkaline, but I don't know. I don't know. I didn't keep it up. It's probably good, but I drink beer, so the beer just so acidic. I think it just ruins it. I need to quit. I really want to, and that'd be harder than eating, I think. But if I had, ever since my lungs got messed up, I can't smoke anymore. So it's really, I haven't done any weed in like, I don't know how long. And I can't buy edibles. So I don't know. But if I had like I think even if I get CBD, CBD would probably help. I don't know, with the pain and I don't really have anxiety anymore, but I have a lot of pain. And I don't know, people say CBD helps with pain, but I haven't tried it. So I don't even know what the gallbladder is supposed to do. What does a gallbladder do? Is that like, I was told that I had like some high bilirubin, which is like some chemical the liver gives off. So they were like, yeah, you might want to go easy on the drinking, otherwise your liver might not like it. So I need to. It's like I didn't drink this much. I used to freaking smoke all the time, every day, and definitely every time I quit smoking or didn't have money for it, I'd drink more. Epsom salts. Do you eat it? I didn't think you were supposed to eat Epsom salt. Fresh squeezed citrus. I heard that. Isn't that like, I want to do that. I wonder if the lemon and mixing lemon with water, you know how it's like supposed to make it alkaline, which seems like a total oxymoron, right? It's like it's citric. It's like a citric acid, but for some reason when you drink it, it turns alkaline in your body, which is crazy. It doesn't make sense, but I don't know, the body does crazy things. So, but I wonder if just that like lemon juice in the little lemon shaped plastic bottle is like the same as fresh squeezed lemon. Mm-hmm. How'd that work out, Mary? Gallbladder creates bile. Huh. Maybe I need to try that. So, anyways, what do I do with this Epsom salt? And what oil? It's all times. Apple cider vinegar is great, but I cannot. I guess if I mix it with water, it's okay. But there's no way I can take shots of that shit. It's, it's hard. It's harder to drink than whiskey. You drink Epsom salt. I did not think you were supposed to. I'd taken baths in it a lot. To relax your lungs, so stones and nasty gathered fats easily release. It's gross and amazing. Yeah, it's like sex. It's gross and amazing. Yeah, definitely dilute it. I need to get back on that. But see, it's like I never know which one to do, if I should do them all at the same time, if I should fast and drink apple cider vinegar water, or if I should like do the like baking soda, because I mean, I don't know if baking soda is that great for you, but it makes it alkaline, which is supposed to be good for you. So, oh great. No, I don't need any more laxative effects. uh, but hey, it's worth a try. But how much Epsom salt do I mix with the water? Just like a tablespoon a gallon or what? Yeah, I bet apple cider vinegar in apple juice. Oh, that'd probably be super laxative. but it probably tastes pretty good. Oh, so anyways, yeah, I'll check it out. And I feel like I've got to start back on my health kick. And I think I am going to do the fast thing again. 1 tablespoon per liter, but the whole thing is timed. Like like you just drink a glass every 24 hours, like on the spot, or anyways, I love this health talk. But I was thinking, I don't know. I like talking about supernatural Mandela effects, and then maybe it's that's another thing is like my thoughts. I've tried like medicines. Like, does it work because I believe in it? I mean, surely it's a better going natural, but I mean, do I have to believe this is going to make me healthier? I don't think so. I think there's definitely I think there's a objective reality. Our bodies feel like I feel like our souls, our spirit is like quantum, or you know, but our bodies, I don't know. Maybe our bodies can change. Maybe we can get healthier. Maybe we can get younger. But I don't. I'd love to get younger, or at least feel younger. Hi, little wing. Thanks for coming by. Half a pound of Epsom salt in a red hot bath. Yes, I do love taking baths of that stuff. I had some scented. It was like cucumber melon. That's oh man, it smelled so good. To have it a day and a half to complete it. You drink different liquids at different times. You are going to shit your guts out. Uh, So is this just like a one-time thing? Just like or is it something you can do like long term? Just like is it just for like one day or a week or what? I don't know. Guess we'd have to do some research. Oh, so has anybody out there seen any new Mandela effects or had any strange things happen to them recently? Yes, lemon juice. But I was wondering, is the lemon juice in the little bottles the same thing as like if I fresh squeezed a lemon? Because it'd be so much cheaper. Oh yeah, Mary, are you seeing anything cool you want to talk about? Does anybody want to come on? Oh, I guess I could put a link in the chat. How do I do this? I forgot. What am I doing? Do I just do this? Copy. I think did that link go through? I think that's because I didn't do it the traditional way, which I think you're supposed to. Oh, No. I don't know how to find the link, so I just copied the link. Yeah, it works. Awesome. Hi,
Oh
Creek
crap!
Mary.
Okay.
You can turn your cam off if you want to.
Oh heck, I'm not shy. Um, yeah, we live out in the country in Oklahoma. Well, in town too. We got two houses, and about a week ago, we were coming back to the town pretty late, about midnight or 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and there was that crescent moon, and it was right over my sister's house. I mean, like almost just hanging over it. And I thought, wow, that's kind of cool looking. So I glanced at the road and glanced back at her house, and in that second, the moon had shifted. And I was telling people, I said it went from like west, southwest, which when it was
I,
over her house,
I have
to
noticed that.
west. Yeah, and it went to west northwest, just like bam and big. It got big just in that second. So anyway,
Well, I didn't see the phase actually change, but I saw it move from one point in the sky, like all the way to a different part of the sky. I was like,
hmm
I was like, no way, what the heck's going on? But
yeah,
I did notice just, I don't know, was that last or a couple nights ago that was like a tiny sliver and it like almost wrapped all the way around the moon. It was like I don't remember it being so long of a crescent before.
hmm oh, golly.
I don't know.
But yeah, that's the only thing. Well, no, let me think. There was one more thing, and I can't remember what. But I thought, oh crap, a couple of things. But yeah, that's the only thing that's happened lately is that I've noticed is that. So anyway, I'll hop off.
Oh, you're fine. Can I ask you a question about I see you got the lion and lamb as your picture.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Let me show you the puzzle box it came from. Hold on, hold on, hold on. That's right here. Yeah, here we go. Let me see. I'll see if I can get fancy. Can you see that?
Yeah, cool. I like that. I love that mirror. That looks cool.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't even go with the dresser. Well, kind of. There we go.
And yeah, that looks like yeah. Well, I'm seeing the back of the box. There we go. Well,
High tech.
now the light is drowning it out. Cover it over the light. There we go. Perfect. Hold on. Let me take your comments off. How do
There
I?
we go. Now you can see it.
Beautiful.
There it
Love
is.
that. Yeah. So you definitely remember the lion should live with the lamb,
Oh, heck yeah.
huh?
I have to go to church all the time. I was a
That
Sunday school
was
teacher.
really.
Yeah, I was a Sunday school teacher. So heck yeah,
Oh,
lion in the line.
yeah.
Okay. But yeah, that's our
Wow.
puzzle. Even got the verse, Isaiah 11:6 through 9.
There it is. What the
Yeah,
heck? It's
yeah,
so obvious that this is real, right? I mean, how
yeah.
can anybody deny it? Is there any
But
puzzles out there with a wolf? They're probably making them now, but it's like,
probably.
is it
But
is
yeah,
it
that's
is it disturbing for you? Because when I first found out that was the first Bible change that I learned of, and it like sent me into a dark depression. I was like,
it. It scared me because I was always, to me that's like a sacred thing, and
yeah,
it's like God talking. And
yeah,
to think that something like that can change, it freaked me out because I thought, wow, this is bigger and stronger than I had any idea. And but the thing is, like people say, it's a material thing, and the devil runs the material world and can kind of like do whatever. So I feel like I need to depend more on my relationship with God,
yeah,
like prayer and that sort of thing. that
Yeah.
I need to try to build and strengthen my communication, my direct communication with God,
Mhm.
and learn discernment. Like one of my lessons because I taught little kids, one of my subjects of the lesson was, does God really want me to take the collection money and go to Six Flags? Or is that just me? You know, discernment.
Hmm. Well,
But
that's
yeah, that's what
awesome
I
that
try
you
for that.
taught kids. Um, I,
I used to be a kid.
um, what was I gonna say? I don't know. It's really good to meet you and meet somebody that's actually has a close connection to the Bible like that. Remembers teaching and got a puzzle with that. I mean, because I went to my childhood pastor, and I
Hmm.
asked him about this, and he ended up saying I was crazy. And
Oh yeah.
I was just like, how can you not see it? Because when I first asked him about it, I asked him, I was like, do you remember this verse? The lion shall lay with the lamb. And he's like, yeah, yeah, of course. And but then I told
Everybody.
him, well, but I told him it changed to wolf, and he's like, oh no, it's always been like that. I was just misremembered, or it's just like, come on.
Misremember.
I had nobody. I felt so alone. I wish I had this platform to actually talk to people then, but
Yeah.
gosh, I mean, I felt like I was cast out by like my family, my my girlfriend. I mean, I was homeless for a little while, and I was just
Hmm.
like, I. But I went to psychologists, and like I'd ask them the same questions. Even I was like, if they didn't know anything about the Bible, I'm like, okay, well, what about Snow White? You remember, what did the witch say in the mirror? And they're like, mirror, mirror on the wall. Like, yeah, exactly. That's what I remember too. But now it's a
Hmm.
magic
Fly, my kids,
mirror.
fly.
It's it's weird. It's like we know this place isn't our home. This isn't where we want to stay. This is not this material world, but we're in
Hmm.
these
Well,
physical bodies that are material, and it's so hard to navigate. Like you were saying, the discernment, like that's
hmm.
one of the really hard things, especially when you're on YouTube and like trying to get information from people, truthers. You think you're trying to find the truth, and it's really hard to discern who is telling the truth, or maybe it's their truth, but or who is, who you can trust. It's
And so many people are just out. Well, maybe not so many, but quite a few of the people that are popular now. I remember one in particular. I mean, way back when this was just beginning and nobody even knew who he was. He was really excited because I think somebody, oh God, what was his name? Richie from Boston.
yeah,
Got
yeah,
he said Richie from Boston is on some interview show. Isn't that great? Maybe someday I can be like that. And that caught my attention. And ever since then I noticed that's what his aim is. He wants a name more than anything, more than helping us. He wants a
yeah,
name. And so that kind of made me just start being careful. Once
yeah,
I saw that, I thought, okay, there's users all the time everywhere. People using. So
yeah.
yeah,
I don't.
I got, well, it just made me aware.
It
I didn't get
feels
all stuck
like
on it, but
you're not gonna get rich or famous or anything if you are on the right side. I
it's
mean,
right. You're going to get
you're,
your reward that way. You're going
uh,
to get your reward. You're getting your money, you're getting your stuff.
yeah.
And that's what people sell their soul for is this stuff. I don't
I
know what
don't.
to think.
I wonder if it's like an action. I don't wonder. if the selling the soul, the signing your contract, I think that's just a metaphor. I wonder if like they even realize it before they
I
do
don't
it, or
I think a lot of time, well, I think of somebody I know, and they're past now. But, back when we were young, 70s, and I'm 64. Anyway, I'm old. And that was how it was. People were playing around with Ouija boards and occult, and
oh,
astrology first came in. That's when all that, Age of Aquarius and all this, and hippies. In fact, we were,
I did that one time. I played with the Ouija board one time, never again.
oh, we played with it when we were little. Daddy brought one home, and we made it fly. Me and my sister, we don't even need a partner. We can make it fly.
No.
But then I found out what it was, and I quit playing with it.
I swear that brought a haunting in my house. Like I did it one time, and the only thing it ever said to me was goodbye. And right after it
Cool.
said goodbye, it something snapped. My son's toy train track broke apart and snapped, and I was like, "What? No way that just snaps apart." And
Mm-hmm.
then later on, like throughout the months, I kept hearing noises, and it was a haunting, and it was just a
Yeah.
demon, I guess. I mean, it's definitely not. I don't even believe in ghosts, really. I don't think. I think they're demons. Um,
That's what I have heard. Because I always assumed that it was who I saw it was. I mean, who it appeared to be. Because out here everybody's got stories. All kind of stories. I even got one. I saw a ghost at church. I saw the woman. Because there's a woman, and my son and his little playmate when they were little. They saw a man.
mm,
Grandma, both of my grandmas talked to my grandpa at church
oh,
one
really?
night. Oh yeah, because they've got little houses at church. A long time ago when it was too far away to go to church, people would travel and spend the night, horse and buggy kind of times. So they made little camp houses at the churches for people to spend the night. So they were spending the night at the camp house, and Grandpa came and talked to him. And Grandma said he even held her hand, and he had cut some fingers off. He was a carpenter, and she said she could feel where his fingers were missing when he held her hand.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So,
and
but would you say that's like a ghost, or would you say that's just like a spirit visiting
I
to?
think that's somebody visiting. Because was listening to a pastor, and even that pastor said, that these are probably demons, but that sometimes, God's tender mercy,
Yeah, I
you
believe
know,
they could be sent for a visit to say goodbye, or you know.
yeah,
Um,
for
so I don't
like,
think it's always demons, but the ones that just seem to play around and don't
mm,
seem, I don't know. I had a thought after I did that Ouija board that maybe I was messing with a kid because he went to my son's toy train track and broke it apart. But
hmm.
he shook my bed. It shook my bed one time, and I remember like I was like trying to like reenact it. It was like maybe a spring broke loose or something, but no,
It
the
was
way
the
this
wind.
thing. Oh yeah,
That's
it's
my
just the
phrase.
wind.
It was the wind.
Yeah, it's just the wind. My grandma said that one time too when and she was very religious, but
Hmm.
I don't know, when I stayed the night at her house, I would hear strange things out. And one time she came to my room, and I was just laying there for like an hour listening to all this stuff go on. I was like, what is she doing out there? And then she comes in my room, knocks on the door, and says, what are you doing making all this noise? I was like, it's not me. I've just been laying here. I thought it was you.
Mm.
No. She said, well, maybe it's just the wind. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
wind. Yeah, but I think that, well, we have medicine men. In fact, I'm getting ready to go see a medicine man pretty soon myself. Stuff, seems like it's kind of weird lately. But yeah, we still have medicine men. They still do things. And I think a lot of it is, I don't know if it's belief or what, because people down here, everybody's seen things. I mean, that used to be my habit and my hobby. was ask everybody, okay, tell me a story.
Yeah.
And sometimes it take a while, but everybody's got a story.
Yeah.
Everybody has a story.
So
And
is the medicine man like just herbal or
mm-mm,
actual prescriptions?
mm-mm.
No, just spiritual, like
They can do
ritual.
both. No, they can do things.
Like what?
They can shapeshift. They can put
Whoa.
medicine. They can make a lot of the bad ones, and it seems like that's what's around anymore is degenerate. It's kind of degenerated down, and they use it for like getting women
Abusing their
or
power. Yeah.
hmm or hurting people. Selling their ability for revenge.
Yeah.
That and
Well,
medicine. I mean, medicine, herbal medicine too. That kind of
would you
medicine.
what do you think makes them special? Do you think like we all have this power or
No, I remember hearing from my grandmother that there's certain ways. If you have a child that is kind of, that way,
Mhm.
you're supposed to take care of them and treat them special. You're supposed to kind of keep them apart. They're supposed to have their own silverware. They're supposed to have their own forks and plates. And, they're supposed to be special.
Hmm.
And that's kind. I mean, not. I mean, everybody can do stuff. Off and on here and there. Everybody can kind of do
Mm.
stuff. But some people are special.
Yeah, I think some are born with a certain
Yeah.
ability,
And if
but
you
I wonder
don't
why.
take, then they lose that ability.
If you don't what?
If you don't take care of them and treat them
Hmm.
special, different, then they'll lose that ability. It has to be like nurtured.
Interesting.
So,
I feel like
hmm
always felt different when I was a kid. I always
hmm
felt like, I mean, I had my imaginary friend for a while, but I think that went away. But I always felt like there was something else
oh
about
yeah,
me that I was never got along with the other kids, and I always real I don't know inside I didn't know what to call it when I was a kid, but I was always spiritual. I always feel my soul. I feel
oh yeah.
like I'm not this body.
Well, I'd get. I guess you call them downloads now.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes you just go on, go baby, go. That things just like come to you. Concepts and things that a little teeny tiny child. Because I was raised out in the middle of nowhere on top of a hill. We didn't even have TV or running water. So I didn't have a lot of outside influence. But things would just like bam, just come to me, an idea and a concept, and I'd just like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Where did that come from?
yeah, where did that come
um,
from? And it was like somebody would be, it was like a presence, kind of like if you had your grandpa or your dad standing over your shoulder explaining something to you.
yeah.
It was almost like that.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah,
it didn't feel bad, right? See,
oh,
I've
it
felt
was, mm,
I've felt I've felt things like that, but I've also felt really dark, negative things around me before too. And most of the time, I feel like I try to want to brush it off, like it's just all in my head. But
yeah.
I know it's not.
But no,
Um,
around here, they don't teach like one of my cousins was that way with her kids. They saw some stuff at grandma's house and she was going to get onto them. But most of the time, people are like, yeah, that happened. That's what my mom and grandma used to say. Sometimes things like that just happen. So it's just normal. Or you're taught that it's like, you're not taught that it's a weird thing and you're not taught that you're crazy. It's just sometimes things like that just happen. Because it took,
I don't know. I was taught I was crazy.
yeah. And that's why outside of our culture, that's why a lot of people don't see things because it's the wind.
Yeah.
Even if they do see something, they won't see it.
Well, when you say medicine men, I think of like Indian.
Yeah, I'm
Is
an
that
Indian.
who you're talking about? You are?
Yeah, I'm an Indian.
Awesome. I was told I was like, I don't know, had Cherokee in me. And
Mhm.
my grandfather, great grandfather owned a casino out in, and I guess, I don't know, something happened there. But so I've, I'd never done one of those gene tests or whatever, but that's what I was told. And I've always felt like there is something about Indian culture that I want to get in touch with, like I'd love to, like the reservations and stuff. I'd love to like know, just get out of this culture and that's the thing. It's like, but see, we were raised like on the Bible and like a certain religion,
Mhm.
but like now we know that the Bible is just a book. It's just, and
I
it can
know.
change just like any other thing. But
Yeah.
do you
I
think
feel like
that you think that God is letting only certain things change to like let us know, or is
I
it complete deception? Like, is it complete? Like it says, like I don't know. I mean, because it makes sense. Like it says, the wolf shall also dwell with the lamb, letting us know, that there is a wolf in the house, right?
mhm.
So we need to be aware that the devil is real. But then it's
Yeah.
that Satan is the god of this world. So we're like, I don't know if we're in the world, but it's the little g. So I don't know. There's so many different changes. Like it still bothers me to this day. I don't even want to read it anymore. I don't know what I can
Yeah.
trust.
I know it.
So,
I mean,
but
that's the truth. That's how I feel. But I feel like it's better than nothing.
well, like you
Um,
said, though, we have a direct connection to God.
mhm.
If we just pray and things happen like in our lives, I feel like He can send us messages, whether
Yeah.
it be through a book. Like there was one time I opened it up and it spoke directly to me, and I feel
Mhm.
like God made it open right to that page. I didn't
Mhm.
I didn't like go searching for a certain verse. I didn't go searching to. I was like, okay, show me what you want to show me, and pointed my finger on a random verse, and I was like, wow, that just is directly what's happening in my life. There was no way I should have like wrote it down, but I can't remember what the situation was, but that was crazy. So
Oh,
I don't know. I'd still do that every now and then, but then again, I'm just, I
but then
wanted,
that's God talking to you.
what'd
I
you
mean,
say?
like I was telling, I said that's God talking to you. I mean, like I told
Yeah.
my brother, I said it's not like he gonna pick up the phone or knock on the door to talk to you.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know, there's other ways, and it's through your spirit.
Yeah. But you have to keep an eye out. You have to be looking for
Mhm.
him because he's not going to come to you if you aren't looking for him. I don't
And you
think.
might
If
miss,
you,
you might miss a sign, you might miss a direction, you might,
yep.
you know.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like it says, to always be like prayerful. Like my dad had it saying one time. He said like you're either on the beam or you're not. It's either on or you're not. You're either following what you're supposed to be doing or you're not.
Yeah. It's
That's the only two. And you need. And he said it's not just on Sunday. He said it's every second, every day you're having to make a decision. Which way am I
that
gonna
is
go?
that
That's
is
why you
true.
gotta always have it in your mind all the time. I mean, you're gonna lapse. Shoot, I lapse. But you need to. That's I guess maybe like a goal. Like they talk about Jewish people had that
Uh,
little thing in their head to always have God's word in front of them on their mind all the time.
oh yeah.
Mhm. So otherwise you'll get
It's uh, it's
distracted.
it's like a bipolar world. It's either one way or the other, you know. It's
Yeah.
but we try to go right down the middle because we feel so stuck in the middle. I mean, it's hard. I don't know.
Yeah.
And when you deal with like death or loss, sickness, pain,
Hmm.
it makes you kind of doubt, you know, like why or I don't know, why am I being punished for this
Oh, I'm not being
why?
punished. I mean, well, because I'm sick. I had to go get a heart stent last week. I had to go
Yeah.
to the ER last week. But it's not. You got to die sometime, somehow, from something. Nobody gets out alive.
It can be. Well, I'm glad you're
And
doing okay now. You look great.
oh, I'm doing okay. But that's the thing, it happens. It's life. That's the way it goes. I'm glad that I'm alive so far this long. I could have died young in a car wreck or something.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, every day you might not make it till tomorrow.
Yeah, that's true.
Hmm.
I told my ex-girlfriend we'd fight so much about the pettiest things, and I'm like, either one of us could die on the way to work, right? You know, why are we fighting over these stupid things that make
Yeah.
no difference? Let's just enjoy the time that we've got. And but
But
tell me about these medicine men. I want to know. This is really interesting.
because even a lot of Indians don't really believe in medicine men, and they don't. I mean, maybe theory. Oh, I'm about to run out of batteries. Maybe theory, like but for real believing, they don't really for real believe. They're too logical.
So they don't use plant or actual medicine.
Oh yeah, that's another
Uh,
reason you go to the medicine man is for that kind of medicine. There's two kind of medicine. There's like
what
herbal
kind?
medicine. There's herbal medicine where you go in, like if you got a headache, you take this root and boil it for 2 minutes or whatever. Medicine,
Yeah,
like herbal medicine.
yeah.
And then there's the other kind, supernatural stuff that they do.
How does that work?
Oh, I don't know. You don't want to play with that. You
What? But
don't want to play.
didn't you say you're seeing these people shapeshift and stuff?
I have not,
Uh, but they
but
said
my
they
cousin.
can.
Oh well, let me think about a time that I think. All right, I'll tell you a story. Um, One time I was walking down the road, and in a really thick, bad, swampy part, I heard a kitten in the woods.
A
Just
kitten?
a kitten. And I
Okay.
thought, oh my God, a little kitten out in the middle of that awful wood, swampy thing. Oh, I've got to go save it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a really good dog with me. And that dog not pushed me aside and went in after that kitten, and I could hear him tearing that cat up. But
Oh,
the thing is, it sounded like that kitten was talking. You remember like that movie, The Fly, where he's like,
yeah.
it sounded like that. Help me, like that. And I thought, okay. So anyway, I let that dog go. And a couple days later, I heard a medicine man died.
Oh, really?
And my dog started wandering. And I thought that's what was meant for me. He
Hmm.
started wandering, and he would be gone longer and longer and longer. And finally, he just disappeared. And about a year later, I saw him at church. And I was going to take him home, but he jumped on a little kid, and the deacons took him off rounds and shot him.
Oh.
And I think that was supposed to be for me. That medicine was for me to go out and get that little kitten. It was calling me. It's like, oh my God, I got to go save that little kitten.
Hmm.
But if I had gone in there, that medicine would have been on me instead of my dog. And I would have been the
Yeah.
one going off,
Ooh.
wandering.
Huh. Huh.
But that's an example.
Maybe, yeah, that's interesting.
That's an example of what happens and how it works. A lot of times you don't even know, but things
Yeah.
will start happening, start fighting, you'll start getting sick, you'll start losing money, things like that. Because a lot of it is
Hmm.
so petty.
I felt ever since I did that Ouija board, I don't know if it was that or what. I mean, this was probably 2014. I got sick. Um, everything just started going bad. I felt like I was cursed. I mean,
Like a bad
still kind of
influence,
do.
but
And I've kept away from people too. To like, I'm like, I don't want to bring my curse on you or whatever. So I've really, I don't know. I've limited my social. This I don't know. Whatever COVID lockup thing has been great for me. I'm loving it. I'm not a social
well,
person anyway. So
yeah, because I've noticed, because I'm kind of that way too. I'm not social. I don't have parties. I don't go visit around that much. I'm a hermit.
yeah,
So,
me too. But what was I gonna say? Oh, when I was a kid, well, I was like a teenager, and I had this girlfriend, and her mom was she said she's a witch, like a good witch or whatever. Oh, so and she practiced all kinds of stuff, and she read my palm,
hmm
and she said I was gonna die at a really young age, and I don't know. I still think about that.
I'm
Like,
sure. Thanks a lot.
yeah, like thanks.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't believe it. I mean, I don't. But then again,
hmm
it's always in the back of my mind. Like, well, I do feel like an old man, and I'm only 34. Like my chiropractor told me I have the spine of a 60-year-old. I'm like, well,
Ow.
okay, this is great. So, but it is what it is, and that's the thing. Like the medicine man, the spiritual healing and stuff. Do you think like they could do that? Like in other cultures, um, like I think Japan or I don't know. I remember seeing these videos where they would like use their chi energy to like heal people.
Oh,
Like I
yeah.
wonder, I don't know.
Isn't that like what the Reiki stuff is? You don't touch
Yeah,
anybody, but you leave your hands open.
exactly.
In fact, some
Yeah,
people say you don't even have to be in the room. Just like send your psychic vibrations across the country.
maybe. I don't know. I'd love to try some stuff like that. Like I'm open for it, but then again, you think like, oh, maybe I'm dealing with some demonic powers or something, and you get scared, and you know,
hmm
like, because I'd love to go like talk to a medicine man or something, but then again, I'm like, I don't know exactly what I'm getting myself into.
Yeah. Well, that was one thing. My grandmother was a church women leader, and her father was a medicine man and a preacher. And so it can go both ways. A lot of it is spiritual. You're a spiritual leader too, because they still have the old. They still got the old religion here. So that's where the medicine man and people go. Some people still do that, but
the
grandma said it's real, so don't play with it. Leave it alone.
the
So she
old
knew.
religion.
Yeah, we
What do
still
you mean
got
by that?
our where they dance around the fire and pray to the Creator.
Well, and that's bad.
It's supposed to be.
Well, I mean, isn't that who the creator? I mean,
Yeah, but that's
isn't
one
that
reason we're different out here. Around here, around our area, I think we're different because we still have a lot of the things from the old religion carried over. We're not like straight Baptist.
yeah.
We got a sign on the door, but there's a whole lot of stuff that's still from the past. So we still, even though I go to church, there's still a lot of the old religion in the church. And I didn't know that till I went to church, and I went to white church. I didn't know
White.
that. I didn't know until I went to white church how different it was.
Or are you going to black church?
Oh yeah, I've been going to Indian church. But yeah, I go to black church too. I saw my black preacher today. But yeah, white church,
It
black
is,
church, Indian church.
it is different. I have been to a couple of, predominantly black African American whatever churches, and it is very different.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It's good.
Yeah, there's a lot of soul. I really love all their singing, and I love the
And
singing
they
and dancing. I don't see anything wrong with singing and dancing around a fire, or
mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's like I don't. That's what say if we're worshiping the Creator,
Mm-hmm.
it's
There's only one creator.
yeah. There's only one. So
Yeah.
that's the thing about Jesus is like because Jesus wasn't the Creator, but yet we're told he was God in the flesh, right?
Oh, I don't even deal with that kind of thinking. It's
Yeah,
like,
I don't,
okay, whatever makes it work, y'all, whatever. But I don't even deal with that kind of how many angels dance on the head of a pin. Oh, I can't. No, I don't even want to start. It makes people go to war and fight. It's that kind of foolishness. But I don't worry
yeah,
about that kind of stuff. Jesus is God. God is God. I don't worry about it. There's just
yeah,
God.
the wars and all this. It's so ridiculous. Like, and you think like one day, like the world is going to harmonize, but it won't. I don't think it ever will. Not
I don't
here.
not well. One thing I remember seeing is that a lot of people, I think, like when they talk about the rapture and blah blah blah, that kind of thing, that it says they don't. I think they missed the part where it says we're also supposed to be leaving this body and having another body. And I think people think that they're just going to be like waiting on a bus and going to be able to get on like they are now. But to me, I feel like you're going to die. You're going to lose this body.
Yeah.
And oh well, I guess. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, you're going to stop it. You're going to change it. There's nothing you can do.
Mm, yeah, that's the whole. We were talking about health and stuff. It's like, well, I'm not really worried about living longer. I just want to
Mm-hmm.
live happier and healthier.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
worried about because like get hit by a train tomorrow or something. You never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So
And think like that. Like I started thinking like that when I was a girl. That if I knew, because you don't know, but if I knew I was going to die next month or when I was next year,
mhm.
will I be doing this? You know, whatever it is. What would I be doing instead? Because you never know. And it puts a whole lot of things in perspective. So,
Hmm.
like I told my sister, I said, at this point, I don't really worry who gets grandma's buffet. I mean, that's just so little right now.
Yeah.
So material stuff is going to disappear. So why fight for it?
Yeah. My grandma saved so much stuff. Um,
Mm-hmm.
not like I mean she accumulated wealth, but she really believed that she was gonna live forever, and maybe she is still alive. Um,
In another reality in
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be so? I mean, this is crazy, but wouldn't it be like beautiful if you lived backwards? If you died and like grew young, that would I don't know. That's that I can't even imagine it, but you died and grew young and watched all your mistakes
Be
be
corrected.
erased. Yes, backwards. It's like, well, okay, I'm doing so great now. I'm growing young, and then you grow right back into God, right back into I don't know.
Well, I
I
have a
just
theory, that
what
people say, "Oh, you don't die with Mandela," and I thought, "Oh, that's a bunch of bull crap. I know people that die all the time." And what I'm thinking is, like if you have multiple choices, do this, do that, and now I know some of my mistakes because I'm sure there's things that I'm not even aware of that are really, really bad that I'll
mhm.
hear about when I die. But I thought, well, what if now that I know I shouldn't have done this, what if that's why I'm going to die in this one because I screwed it up. If I hadn't screwed it up and had this results because of that, maybe that's why this is a terminated timeline for me because it wasn't optimal. And maybe eventually all that will be left is the best one, the right one, the good one.
Yeah,
So
I
I thought
like
people
that.
die. Yeah.
I
So
have
the
thought,
choice I made led me to this dead end, and I'm gonna die someday. But maybe eventually I'll have a timeline where all the choices were right, and I
yeah.
followed through to the end, and that's the one that lives.
So if you died, you think you would just start back over in the same body and then
I don't.
have all the like as a baby and have all the same choices to make, but you make them a little differently.
I think they're simultaneously happening now.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Hmm. All at the same time, right now, simultaneously. I
So
mean, if there are multiple realities, then there's multiple realities.
yeah,
And there's one of them where I did it right.
yeah, that makes sense. But it's so hard to see like non-linear. Like I mean, okay, so if you think if we died, would we just jump over to the body that didn't die,
Mm, I
or
don't
what?
know, really. I don't know. And I think about that because I thought, well, maybe that's how all these shifts happen. Because I just don't know.
I
But it's
see.
interesting.
I've never felt like I've really been shifting. I
I
feel
never
like
did either.
my external world is changing. I feel like I'm in the
Mhm.
same timeline and things are being manipulated in this timeline. I don't feel like I'm jumping timelines. I don't feel like, I don't know. I just feel, but then again, history is all crazy. So who knows?
Mhm. But it does, like this movie is like, it makes my brain hurt.
Yeah. I'm
You
just gonna
know?
turn it off.
Go, watch a movie or something. But yeah, I really don't know. I try to see as much as I can, try to get some clues. And 'cause that's kind of what I'll do. I'll just kind of sit and look at things and just try to get as much information as I can to process and not try to jump to conclusions and just try to guess.
That's the hardest part is not to jump to conclusions.
Yeah, because you don't really know.
Yeah.
And then if you do jump to conclusions, then you might just turn rock solid and not consider anything else. It's like, this is how it is. I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I hate that. I hate when people do that. I know this and I know that. No. I like
Yeah,
you think. I like when people say I think this. I think this
yeah.
might be, not
It probably
this is
is. Because once you lock rock solid, then you're not going to be open to anything else. You might
but
miss the
that's
truth.
that's the way religion is, right? Like when you go to church or whatever, it's like they know this, you know. You're told this
Well,
is this way, and
I know it, but I don't pay attention to a lot of that. Really. So,
um,
but a lot of that stuff I don't pay attention to it because a lot of it is people's interpretations, and you're not supposed to be rude and talk out loud to the preacher in church, but
oh no,
just like, yeah.
yeah. Sometimes, I
Uh-huh.
mean,
Because I have my own mind. I don't think there's anything bad. And I am. I mean, well, that's why we're truthers. That's why we see things. It is what it is. And you don't let other
well,
people tell you. I mean, it is what it is, and you see it for yourself, and you accept for yourself. And you have your own mind, and you're strong in your own mind. Maybe that's
yeah.
why I'm not. Yeah,
But see, I haven't been to church. Well, I only time I went to church was when my grandma died, and
I know.
um,
A lot
every
of
other
people have
time,
gone.
especially the big churches. See, when I went to talk to that pastor, my childhood pastor, about the Mandela effect,
Mm-hmm.
he told me I should go to this church, and it was the biggest church in town. Like it was one of those big, had like an elevator. There was armed policemen there, you know,
Yeah,
and I went there,
megachurch.
yeah, mega church, and I was just I could not feel it when I walked into the door. You know, the people that hand out pamphlets of what they're going to talk about at the door, you know, to everybody. So
Mm-hmm.
when I was walking through the door, she was handing it to everybody in front of me, and then I get ahead and she says, "You don't need one." I said, "What?
You're
What is that?
special.
What does that mean?" I I just
Hmm.
felt like I don't know. I felt like is it because you don't want me here, or am I just
Well, something speaking through her to you.
yeah, that was weird. That was so weird. And
Yeah.
one thing that they talked about was I can't remember the verse, but it said Jesus he went to a or a king came to him or something, a king that had like all these possessions, and he says, "Oh Lord, what do I do to get
Mm-hmm.
to get my salvation or something? How do I be saved?" That's how he said. He said, "How do I be saved?" He said, "Oh, good Lord, how do I be saved?" And Jesus
Mm-hmm.
looked at him and said, "Why do you call me good? Only God is good." And so that spoke to me right there. I was like, okay, so Jesus is not God. So I mean, he said it himself. He said Jesus is not good. Jesus himself said he is not good. And my entire like upbringing was Jesus was good. Jesus was sinless. I mean, how could he not be good? But if
And
he himself is saying he's not good,
then
then
there's hope. If Jesus said
yeah,
you can cut it,
yeah. Uh, but
me.
yeah, that was interesting. I don't know. I think that was probably besides the small church I went to for my grandma's funeral, that was the last time that I went. And I don't know. Maybe I should go more, but I don't feel.
Well, I feel like that. I mean, I grew up in the Bible Belt, and my whole family was, like my grandpa was a deacon. My mama, and my grandmother both were woman leaders in the church, and that's like a real position. It's like female deacons, and we went to church all the time, and I was just brought up that way. Like some kids go to baseball or whatever. We went to church. That's just what it was. And it was just so strange for me to think about people that didn't go. And I thought, wow, when they're afraid of things like this, like Mandela stuff, where do you go if you're never been exposed to it? Like if your parents didn't go and your grandparents didn't go and you didn't go and you never even heard about church or God or what all ever, and you don't know about God, because I mean I talk to God all the time, and I feel like it's gonna be okay, and I just don't know what people are doing if they have never talked to God, if they don't know God, if they don't have that. I thought no wonder
Yeah.
people are dying.
Yeah,
Because I
sorry,
feel
I lost audio and I got kicked out and I had to come back, but
mm-hmm.
caught the last part of what
Talking
you were
about
saying. Yeah, definitely feel like I have a relationship with him,
mm-hmm.
but I'm so scared too at the same time because I feel like I've let him down. I've let myself down so much,
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. It's like I almost don't want to face him because
Well,
I'm.
the hardest part is because I've been to like church groups like Celebrate Recovery, and the hardest part is forgiving yourself for things. I mean, I hold myself harder than God would probably hold me, and that's the hard
Yeah,
part. And that's
well, I hope I hold myself harder than he does because
yeah,
I just hope he's really as merciful
yeah.
as I believe he is. Because man, I don't know, facing judgment after life.
Well, that's what somebody was saying that I heard, and it's like, no, He forgave you before you were even born. And I'm like, it's hard for me to wrap that around, you know. But yeah, before you even were born, He forgave you for what's going to happen. It's like, oh, dang, kid, it's all right. And the hard part is me forgiving myself,
Yeah,
for things that I've done. I have a lot of guilt
yeah.
and a lot of, I feel bad for a lot of things I've done. And it's the hard part is forgiving yourself because that'll affect you. It's probably maybe
Yeah,
even keep you from doing good things.
yeah, it really does.
hmm But that's the hard part. It's like, I mean, well, I remember people saying, "Oh, you've let yourself off the hook," and so I thought, yeah, maybe that's what I'm doing. I'm just letting myself off the hook. But that's what it says. You know, you're forgiven. That's hard.
Well, but that in Christianity is like you have to put that on Jesus, right? Jesus takes all the sins. Like that's why we're forgiven.
I guess, because, well, tell the truth, I don't think I'm a Christian. Really, really, really.
Yeah, no, I'm
Because
gonna say that. I'm gonna say I'm not either.
I don't
So,
really believe a lot of that crap, and I think a lot of people make a lot of that stuff up.
well,
So I was like, well, yeah,
there
okay.
could there could be a lot of things made up for manipulation, for
Yeah,
control, um,
yeah,
for us to keep us from knowing
yeah.
God and knowing ourselves. So I I,
So a
I
lot
do
of kids,
believe that too. But I do believe, in God.
oh heck
And
yeah, God,
yeah, and
and God got it. God made everything. God made the devil even.
I can't say his name. I don't. Oh, there was oh, Yahweh. There's something about the name Yahweh though that like. Do you remember the Laurel and Yanni thing? People.
Mm-hmm.
So when I listened to that, I didn't hear Laurel and I didn't hear Yanni. I heard Yahweh. And I was like,
Oh,
how is anybody? I mean, I guess you could kind of turn the Yahweh I'm hearing into a Yanni, but no way could I ever hear Laurel. I don't know.
mm-hmm.
What did you ever hear Laurel or
Yeah, I
anything?
was eventually able to hear both of them.
I
And what
could.
was funny, I saw it one way. It was really hard to see it the other way.
I still can't to this day. I don't know. Maybe I should give it a try, but I don't think
Maybe you
all I can
can't.
hear is Yahweh, and it's like a slurred, I guess like a slurred like Yanni, Yahweh, Yahweh. It's like try to say Yanni without using your tongue or your lips. Yahweh. So I don't know. I just heard that and I was like, no freaking way. What is going on? And then the blue
Mhm.
and the black dress kind of that thing.
Oh,
So you can't
yeah.
ever know what another person's saying or hearing, and that I don't know. That makes social interaction really weird.
Mhm.
Like I don't even know if you're hearing what I'm saying.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah.
It's crazy. You sound insane when you talk to people about the Mandela effect or spiritual
Mhm.
anything. You really sound like a freaking nut.
Oh, I
Well,
don't care though. Just I went through a bad time when we were getting divorced, and my whole family turned against me, and I was so I. But that was kind of good because it got me to where I didn't care what people thought about me anymore. I
yeah,
didn't care what people said about me anymore. And it made me have a lot more ability to stand up for what I think is the truth without worrying about what people think, because I don't care what people think anymore.
yeah. But do you talk to them about the Mandela effect, or
Yeah. I even went to my brother's preacher and talked to him
what did he say?
because they think that it's, well, first they made fun of it in church, which I was like, all right, then. Because, yeah, my brother mentioned it to me because he's seen things. And so he went to the preacher and he said, yeah, the preacher was going to preach about it that night. I said, all right, I better show up and support my brother because he's the one that mentions it to the preacher. And they got a woman preacher, which I don't agree with because it says you're not supposed to have woman preachers. But
Ah,
anyway, they have a woman preacher. And I mean, it says what it says, and there might be a reason. So, I know women. And yeah. And so he was like, oh, yeah, some people say this and blah, 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 describe Mandela effect. And his wife went, ha! Like that out of the front row. And I thought, that's when I was like, all right, then we're going to talk, me and you.
yeah.
And we did. I went up. I mean, I looked respectful. And I went up and talked to him after church, and I stood up for it. I said, I have seen this. I have seen this. Explain, and I told him a lot of stuff, and I told him where to look. Go online. Look at this. Look at that. And I told him, until you have your own aha moment, you're not going to believe it. I said, and you're
Yeah.
not even willing to explore it. I said,
No.
you're good. But I mentioned something made his eyes get big. I said, the Ford logo changed. I said, the Chevy logo changed. But he didn't say anything. But I said, until you have your own thing where you know in your heart what it was and it's
Hmm.
changed. I said, it's not going to be real to you. I said, and his wife prayed at me, like, if I'm wrong, let me be changed. And I said, well, I prayed for the same thing. If you're wrong, let yourself see. Well, I
Hmm.
pray for you, buddy. I pray that it knocks you. I didn't say it, but I pray it knocks you over the head and you see.
I don't know. I feel like I don't want. I mean, it's like I want to talk to people about what I've been through, but I don't want that to influence their
Yeah,
life or
you
decision.
care.
Like
I don't care.
yeah, I guess. But see, the thing
Everybody
is,
thinks I'm crazy anyway.
because why I care is because it hurt me. Like it, like a
Yeah.
losing a part of me because I'm like part of this world in this body, and the things around me are part of me, like my memories. They're part of me. So it was like losing a part of me, and it was so depressing and they're so dark. The seeing Satan symbols everywhere. uh, seeing all these blasphemous changes, and it was so. I don't really want anybody else to go through that. If you're happy where you're at in your life, you know,
Really?
be happy. I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you that, the wolf is a bad thing, or, you know, you like the wolf, so you be happy with the wolf. I don't know. It's always been the wolf for you. Fine.
Yeah.
So but I do want somebody to talk to that has experienced it, like you have, or it's great. But if I'm sitting here trying to talk to somebody from a different timeline or whatever, they're just not gonna get it. And
No. And they're gonna think you're crazy.
yeah, and it's really has to be a personal thing. Like it's
Yeah.
like very personal. Once you see it, you see it. And
Yeah. And
there's
then
no
you accept, or it's the wind.
yeah, or yeah, you could just say no, it's just the wind.
It's just the wind.
And
You
I
know.
probably did. I don't know how long I did that for my entire life. Probably just said that's just the wind, or I'm just
Mhm.
forgetting. I didn't remember
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
It's
I
probably
they
been going on. It's probably been going on my entire life, and I'm just ignored it.
Yeah.
But
Well, I wonder how long it's been going on. Well, because I remember, it used to be like Casablanca. Play it again, Sam.
yeah,
And everybody's like, "Oh, you're wrong. It's really blah blah blah." I was like, but I think that was one.
yeah.
Just like Luke on your father. But people didn't know what it was. But I think it's probably been going on a long time. Maybe it's just normal.
Yeah, maybe. But like there's some people that like would swear, it's always been Luke or I mean, no, I'm your
Oh,
father. But to me, it was always Luke. And then
yeah.
around 2016, I heard that 2017, then I started seeing shirts with no, I am your father on it in stores. I'm like, look at that. No. And I'm like trying to point it out to like my significant other, my closest person in my life. And she's just like, I don't care. I'm like, how do you not care? Like, and the only thing she agrees with me on, it was Berenstein Bears though.
Well, that's
Every
something.
every other Mandela effect, no, 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 no. But Berenstein Bears, for some reason, that's like one she will say, yeah, I swear it was. And they even change. I mean, their name is Berenstain. Like that's not just the name of the book. Their name
Yeah.
is Berens. But what? So they either had to have had this name and changed it on purpose because they hate their name and wanted to put a stain on it or something. And it's ridiculous. It's just not. It's not even real. It's not real.
Mhm.
It's just like a
But
backstory. There's just like a
the thing
backstory
is,
to mine.
how many things do you have to see? Like I saw one thing that I knew it had changed, and that made me pretty darn sure. And after that, it took like three things, and that's all it took. It's like, okay, I see it. It's real. You don't have to prove it to me anymore. You know.
But did you stop seeing them after that?
No, I just quit trying to prove it or disprove it. It's like, okay, it's real.
Yeah, yeah. There was no disproving. I mean,
Yeah,
because
I mean, it's
it was I started seeing things like at first it was my friend told me about the Berenstein, and he said he didn't even use the name Mandela effect, but he told me it's a glitch in the matrix, and I was like, what? I was like, yeah, I definitely remember Berenstein Bears. Well, that sent me on my own journey, my own road. And again, to this day, he'll only agree to Berenstein. And every other Mandela effect I've tried to bring up to him about the Bible or anything, and his father is a pastor, or his grandfather is, but and he doesn't see anything else except, but he's the one that brought it up to me, and now he calls me crazy for bringing up all these other changes. Like, how are you going to call me crazy when you're the one that introduced me to this? And now
mm-hmm.
I can't not unsee it.
Yeah,
It's like,
but some people can't handle it. Like I'll tell a story. A long time ago in the 70s, there was adult candid camera was on cable, and the thing that I remember was that they had a really nice restaurant, candles and all this on the table, and they sent in a naked woman. That was the joke. I mean, she had on pearls and heels and a hat, but she's naked and gloves. And some people would like, oh, get shocked, and some people would laugh. But everybody saw her except this one old man. This one old man, he was eating his soup, and he looked up and he saw that naked woman, and his eyes got big, and then he just went smooth and just started eating his soup again. I thought, wow, she's not there for him. He doesn't see her anymore. And I thought, that's how a lot of people do for things.
yeah,
They don't want to see it.
just block it out.
They block it off. And I feel like it's too much for them.
It is
And
shocking.
and if they can't handle it, it's like a trauma victim. You don't make them.
Yeah.
If they can't handle it, then they can't handle it.
I didn't think I could handle it. I really, I didn't know what to do. I thought the world was coming to an end. I thought this was the apocalypse, and I don't know. I didn't know what to do. It like even more than the changes was the way people were acting towards me. That disturbed me almost more than the changes. I was feeling like, what are these people demon possessed? I literally feel like I'm talking to a demon right now.
Yeah.
Huh?
Like, is it me? Am I the one that's,
Yeah.
in the, what's going on? But when I first started, they had something that, I'm sorry they don't have it now, like for my brother, but they had a 24-hour relay that in this little group that they had started, everybody took a shift so that somebody was always there. You knew if something happened 2 o'clock in the morning, you knew so and so was online.
Yeah.
And that helped me more than once.
I would have loved to have that.
Yes. I
ended up I called a suicide hotline and then to talk to them about the Mandela effect. And they were like, yeah, I remember Mirror Mirror on the Wall. Yeah, I know. We all do. What's going on? They're like, oh. I mean, they didn't have any answers, but still, it was nice to talk to somebody. Just to confirm that I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy.
Well, I do have my boyfriend is the one that showed me. He's like, hey, look at this. I was like, oh crap. So he sees things, and now but I don't see a lot of things until people point it out. Because I'm not observant. And a lot of times until I'm like on a chat or something, and somebody says, oh, there's this and there's that, and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
And I don't know it.
Logo changes were real big. I worked in a grocery store, so I stocked for like 3 years. I stocked Bragg's apple cider vinegar for 3 years. Then one day, the tag still said Bragg's, but every bottle on the shelf was Bragg. And I was like,
the F.
I was like, what? No way. And there was all kinds of water changes. There was so many. And I heard and it was something weird. Sometimes I feel like I did kind of die somewhere, like in a timeline, because I went on vacation and I came back to work. Okay, see, this really disturbed me because I was seeing Mandela effects before, but I went on vacation and nothing really strange happened until I came back. When I got back in the house, even my girlfriend was like, we'd only been gone for 2 days. But when we came back, we both were like, whoa. why? I asked her, I was like, do you feel like this something's different when we walked in the house? She was like, yeah. What? We couldn't put our finger on it.
Like maybe somebody been in there, like took it, some,
Something,
something's different.
something was off. And then I went to work
Mhm.
the next day, and see, so seeing things online and your memory changing is one thing, but like I had this happen real time, a real life
Mhm.
change right in front of me, and I'll never forget it. So I went back to work, and I was stocking these bulk bins because I worked in the natural food section, and they had bulk bins full of nuts and fruits, and so there when I got there, there was two bulk bins missing from the wall, and I asked the other person working because the boss wasn't there yet, or she wasn't working that day. I said, "So, what needs to be done?" Because I was just kind of, I'd been gone for a few days. So she says, "Oh yeah, the boss wants you to fill these two bulk bins up, and just make sure you're not putting the same thing up twice." And so I go to the back and I get two bulk bins, and we only had two bulk bins because they were missing, and we never had any extra ones. But so I go and I fill the first one up, and I turn around and look in the cart, and I have like I have a few things to choose from, and so I turn back around to make sure I'm not putting the same thing up twice. And then
Mhm.
when I turn back around, the second bulk bin is filled already. It's right there, and there's no place to put the second bulk bin. And then right at that time, I'm freaking out. I'm like, "What the heck? How?" There was
Mhm.
my coworker comes around the corner, and I was like, "Didn't you tell me there was two bulk bins? Wasn't there two bulk bins to fill?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Well, then where did this one come from? I still have an empty bulk bin. I didn't fill that up." She looked at me all crazy and was just like, "I don't know. That's weird." And my boss comes in, and I'm like, "Did we ever have an extra bulk bin?" She's like, "No, I've worked here 30 years. These things are old. They've held up forever." I was like, "Well, then where did this extra one come from?" I don't know. It was weird, and it took me. I At that time, I didn't. I couldn't tell which one was already filled. I had other things to do, a bunch of customers, so I just went along my day. Just like I couldn't freak out about it. So I went along my day, and the next day, a customer comes up to the boss, and the boss comes up to me and says, "A customer's complaining that there's macadamia nuts mixed in with peanuts. Will you dig them out for him?" I was like, "Yeah, sure. Wait, hold on. We don't have macadamia nuts." And she looked at me like crazy, like, "You're right. We don't have macadamia nuts. I just made the order last Thursday. We never had macadamia nuts, and now we had macadamia nuts."
Now you have.
Crazy. I was going crazy, man. Like, what is going on? And what's the point? What was the message? What was the message? There was no. I mean, I
The
even
message
tried
behind
to. I tried to pull a message out of it.
that.
Damien nuts.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. I'm just, but that's probably just, I just tried. I tried to get something out of it, but so what does that mean? It's like the Damien, like the devil or whatever is doing it or something. I don't know. Maybe that's far stretching, but it definitely happened, and I had two people, my coworkers, backing it up. Right, so I knew I wasn't crazy. That's the
But it's
thing.
like,
We know we're not crazy because
yeah,
there's so many witnesses to this stuff.
but it's
And
like, why? What possible reason would there be to put macadamia nuts, of all things, or to change the Ford logo? It's like, why? If you're going to do something, make it big. World peace. But
right, right, exactly. Something good,
mhm,
right? Something good,
but
not pointless.
And if you get to the point of macadamia nuts, how minute is it going to be? I mean, do I have to
And
worry about, you know?
it, yeah, if it could be anything small, something
Yeah.
small can be very big. Something small, a
Yeah.
small change can make a very big impact that you don't
Like
realize
butterfly.
was
Yeah.
connected, like the
Hmm.
butterfly effect. If you go back in time and change a small little thing, then it could create a very big event.
Yeah.
So,
So I wonder,
so
what big thing got changed that made these little things shake out, maybe.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
you're probably right. It's probably all just what do they call it? Where something happens that what's the word? Um, it starts with a C. I think
Causality?
no. Mm, Never mind. It's something that's not like casualty of war, right? Like, you didn't
Yeah.
mean for that person to die, but that's just something that happened
Yeah.
because of a bigger plan.
Kind
So it's
of a side effect, kind of. Yeah.
I don't know, you know what I mean, right? I
Yeah.
can't think of the
It's
word right
kind
now.
of adult, kind of.
It's just a
But
corresponding effect that happened because of something else. But for it to happen like to me, it felt personal, you know? So,
mm-hmm.
it didn't happen to anybody else. Nobody up except when I brought it up, I was like, "Wow, okay, so how is this happening?" And they're just kind of dumbfounded. And they agreed, that wow, no, we didn't have macadamia nuts, and no, we didn't have an extra bulk bin. So,
So did
and
they come to your reality?
maybe
Yeah.
they just kind of merged into mine
Because you have one.
because I had to, and
Yeah.
maybe they went along in their memory not knowing anything about it. But
Until you pointed it out. Yeah.
yeah,
Because you're
weird.
the one that had the extra bin. You're the one that saw the extra things. And they didn't. So their reality was okay till you came along. Screwed it up.
So they had to like agree on my reality to make it real.
Yeah.
So
For them, too.
that's like I mean that makes sense like with the pastors saying that like, oh, it's always been the wolf shall lay with the lamb, because then they're confirming that it changed for you. I I don't know. They're kind of I don't know. They're saying it didn't. I don't know. It's just
And
so weird.
they just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, I
Or
don't know.
they see it and they know. Because, like, that one preacher that I talked to, he admitted that he hadn't been a preacher very long and he didn't know his Bible. And I thought, then what are you doing being up there trying to talk to people and teach them? But, yeah,
Money,
he admitted,
probably.
heck yeah, that tax deduction, that collection
Yeah.
plate. Yeah.
Yep. I
We
think
had a
that's
preacher, he was so bad he turned into a politician. He's like our senator now. That's how bad a preacher he was.
yeah. I really think it's a business. It can be a business. And I question who I'm listening to sometimes. You can't
Well, you
just
should.
you can't sit there and look at the pastor like he's God. You don't know. You
Yeah, it's
know.
what Grandma said. She said, you follow along. Like when they tell you turn to chapter, whatever, whatever. Grandma, she said, you check that too. You turn to that chapter and verse. You read it by yourself because that preacher's just a man.
Yeah.
So you check for yourself.
I had so many other changes. Like, have you never experienced that, like real time, something disappearing or like?
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah. And my brother did too. Well, like, oh, that kind of stuff happens all the time. But yeah, like, and mom and them, that's what they'd say, just quit looking for it and it'll show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah, when I first moved in my house, I had a little box with a Mother's Day flower my mom gave me. So I was getting ready for Mother's Day. I couldn't find it. I was looking everywhere because I just moved. I thought, oh, God knows where it could be. So I was looking all kind of places, and I went without it. But when I came home, it was laying right in the middle of the floor.
Yeah, I had that happen too. I got I hate talking about this because it makes me look bad. But I smoked something. I don't know what it was.
Hmm.
And I felt a really bad negative, like dark force come in the room when I smoked it. And
Yeah.
it was, I think it was like that fake weed, that synthetic
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
So I was alone, but I got sent to a different dimension where I was being grinded up between two, like my soul, it burned. It felt like hell. Like it was like a rug burn. My soul, like entire, I didn't have a body, but my entire soul was getting ground up between two different, like, it's like two different layers of sandpaper going different directions, and I was in
Mm.
between it. It was hell. It hurt so bad, but I had to like run. It was like a treadmill. I had to run in between it to like for it to hurt less. And the more I ran, I find it took like mental energy, like spiritual energy for me to like run fast enough to get out of it. And then once I started to, all this material world started manifesting again. And
Mm.
I had to like really like think real hard to like remember it and like get there. I had to run on this treadmill and like it like started things started like popping up. And anyways, when I came out of it, I lost an eyeglass. Um, I wear glasses, and a one of my lenses had fell out, and I couldn't find my glasses for a long time. I was looking all over for my glasses, and I couldn't find my phone either because I wanted to call somebody and ask if everything was all right because I was sent to like I had these flashes of memories of different dimensions, like scenarios of things that had happened, like car wrecks, and I thought all of this stuff had really happened. And so I was looking for my phone, but I kept reaching in my back pocket where I keep my phone, and it was not there. I kept reaching and reaching, and it was not there. And one time, I mean, over and over. It was like an infinite loop of reaching, and I was like, I know my phone is back there. And then one time it was there, like it just
Mhm.
manifested back in my back pocket, like everything else. And so I pulled out my phone and I called my girlfriend. I was like, "Is everything okay?" Because I thought you died in a car wreck. She's like, "What the fuck are you smoking?" It's like I don't fucking know, but I can't find my glasses, and so I reach back in my back pocket again, and my glasses are right there in my back pocket, but one eye is missing. One eyepiece is missing. And a week
Mhm.
went by. I didn't have money to buy new glasses, so I had to drive with one eye closed.
Mhm.
And it's horrible. I know it's funny, but it was a horrible time.
I know.
I had to drive with one eye closed. And a week went by, and I searched all over my house for this eye lens. Then, and one day, I come home and it's under a rug sticking out where you could clearly see it. I walked over this rug a
Mhm.
hundred times, and it's just right there, right in, so easy to see. Just how it just manifested again, and then it was crazy. I am crazy. I am crazy. That is as
Mhm.
stupid as I hate telling that story because I was on drugs, but I'll never do that again. But the if they would just why do they got to make weed illegal, a natural God-given plant, to for people to make these insane drugs that
That.
I don't know.
Oh, cause yeah,
But
it's legal here. I'm high all the time, but I've been high for 50 years.
I can't smoke anymore. I got real sick for a while, and
Mhm.
my lungs got really messed up, and now I can't take a hit without my lungs hurting so bad. It really sucks. But
That's where I'm at
um,
now. like I said, I've been smoking dope for 50 years. And now, this past week or two, since all this heart crap, I can't. And
Yeah.
I'm like, crap, what am I going to do with my hands?
But then this other time happened to me. I was rolling cigarettes. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, but I was packing my own. You know, they had with filter and you get a little machine to pack them. So I had just bought a pack of 100 tube papers, and I accidentally knocked over the whole box, and so I'd only smoked like 2 or 3 out of it, and but I had to pick them all up and put them back in the box. And when I put them back in the box, I had like 3 extra, and I couldn't close the box. I was like, how did I end up with more than I couldn't even close the box. So I took it out to my girlfriend. She was outside smoking a cigarette, and I was like, look at this. How does this happen? I like tried to move, like situate them and like move them. I'm like, okay, maybe there's one stuck down in there. I moved them all around. There's no way that I could close this box. There was way too many. And then so she's just like, whatever, brushing me off. She's like, shut up with your crazy Mandela effects and you're nuts. And so we went back inside, left the box outside, and then I don't know, hour or two later, I think, oh, I want to smoke a cigarette, and I was like, oh, I left the box out. So I get the box, and there was like 2 or 3 missing again, and I could close the box perfectly.
So, does it shift all the time like that? Just, moment to moment, and there's things we just don't notice?
I don't know.
There's
some kind of
little thing, and it was like, now I'm here, now I'm not, now I'm here, now I'm not.
I don't think it's not us shifting. It's something else. Mm-hmm. It's like people that have ghosts and like hauntings and stuff. They'll notice things disappearing and moving around their house. Mm-hmm. So that's what I think it is. I think it's some demonic force or something that is fucking with us. Mm-hmm. And fucking with the Bible and
well, I agree with that.
Messing with ones that are on a kind of, I don't know if we're on a higher plane and we just know, because I don't think if we weren't special for some reason, I don't think we would be being messed with.
Everybody would see it.
Yeah, everybody would see it. But then there's the whole NPC idea. Like, I don't know how you feel about that. Like, if some people are like,
I'm kind of believing it.
It feels that way sometimes, don't it?
It's like it's like they're not in control of their own brains.
Yeah.
It's whatever they get fed to do, they'll do it.
They get the downloads. It's weird.
And they'll do what they're told and and say what they're told to say. But yeah, I'm starting to kind of, I didn't think that at first. I thought that was rude.
It is rude. It is rude. I don't like it either. I don't like the thought of it. I don't think they're actually like NPCs. I just think they're more willing to take it to conform to the reality that they're presented, so it doesn't, their soul isn't torn up, doesn't tear their life down, like, and for some reason I don't know, can take it, but it's here I am like 4 years later still talking about it. Like, I guess I've accepted it, I've accepted it as a part of life, but I still don't know why. It's always the question of why that I love talking to people about it. And
especially when you see the goofy changes, it's like, that's a lot of effort for silliness.
Yeah, you can't find any point in it. It was like, that's the big thing. And most if they are Christian, they'll say like that is the main thing. It is the devil, and he changed. He made all these stupid, silly changes to make it look like, okay, well, if everything's changing, then the Bible doesn't really mean much because it's just a thing, and so then you can brush off the Bible or what we remember, what is still written in our hearts, you know.
Mm-hmm. So remember, that's what it says. Put it in your heart, because someday
Oh,
you won't
I
find
lost audio again. Hold on, I'm gonna leave and come right back, okay?
it. Okay.
Hey,
Hey.
so what's going on? Do you want to talk about anything else? Been on for like 2 hours, and this has been great, but it is almost 4 o'clock in the morning. So
Oh my god. Yeah, it's 2 something here. But yeah, I just was gonna tell that one little story.
go
But I'm
ahead.
glad we. Yeah, I'm glad we talked though.
Yeah, it's been
'Cause
great talking to you.
it helps to talk to people. Like I said, I had that support. I tried to provide that for my brother. Because golly, like I said, he had to go up against the preacher. So, but yeah, I don't know what it is, but we see it for some reason. Oh,
Did you
another
have any?
thing,
Yeah, go
a
ahead.
friend of mine, you know how we say sometimes you can't see things until somebody points it out to you, or
Yeah.
your friends didn't see anything until you pointed it out to them.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of along those lines. She was warning me, be careful what you allow into your reality. Be careful who you let influence your reality. If you don't see things until other people show it to you, then be careful what you allow into your reality.
Yeah, but how do you? I don't feel like I have a choice.
Well, I'm kind of, like I said, I'm isolated. And so and I'm just not observant. So I don't see a lot of things anyway. So I'm kind of going with that, trying to be kind of a hermit and not participate in a lot of chats or things like that where other people say, "Oh, look here, look here, look here,"
Yeah.
and until I see it and get pointed out, I don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing that I'm kind of trying to do is just try to not be so. Try to stay away from other influences. Be a hermit.
So you don't watch like any? I mean, you obviously watch my YouTube.
Uh-huh.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't know. The last one I made about Snuffleupagus or Snuffleupagus.
I missed that.
Yeah, that was silly. Do you remember Snuffleupagus or Snuffleupagus?
Sesame Street.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Snuffle.
Snuffleupagus with a P.
Yeah, Snuffleupagus.
With a F or a P?
I think it had a P.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going with too. But doing my research, I found I, I was looking for songs and stuff, YouTube videos, and that said Snuffleupagus. And it was like 3 years ago, somebody called it Mandela effect in the comments, and I was like, yeah, because I heard somebody say Snuffleupagus with an F, and I was like, that's not right, is it? I don't know. So it just sent me on a little rabbit trail of, and apparently a lot of people remember it both ways. So, but it's silly, right? Like, what does that matter? But it was kind of fun. It was kind of fun looking into
Well,
that.
because yeah, it's been good. Maybe it'll help somebody down the road. You
Yeah,
never know.
maybe. You never know who's gonna go looking on YouTube for Snuffleupagus and
Or help with Mandela, and they say, "Oh my God, it's not just me."
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, it's great to know. I mean, can you imagine if we were alone?
Yeah,
You would feel so crazy. Like
yeah.
I would be in a nut house right now,
Or afraid of
literally.
being put. Yeah,
So,
that.
anything else you want to share?
Nah,
All
I'm
right.
good.
Well, it's been great talking to you, Mary.
Good to talk to
Thanks.
you. I'm glad I checked in. I'll let you
Yeah.
go then.
Thanks so
Bye
much
bye.
for coming on.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'll see you around.
Bye bye.
All right. Bye. All right. Later, everybody. Thanks for people that's come and chat. Uh, we'll do this again soon, hopefully. All right. Good night.